Patch 13.15 notes in League of Legends and mainly a Jinx coverage. But guess what? There are no Jinx changes on this patch. However, there are other AD carry changes that could affect the Jinx matchup. Aatrox is not one of them. However, Caitlyn, of all people, is getting buffed, by the way. For passive critical strike chance, scaling is being increased, and the R critical strike chance, I should say, additional damage is being increased. Furthermore, I don't know if it's in the notes right here, but I believe one of the things that they're changing with the headshot passive is it used to be able to synergize with Hurricane, and then like they removed it for some reason, and it looks like they're adding it back. I don't know if it's not in the patch notes because they decided to not put it out, so it's not quite in yet, maybe patch 13.16, but basically what it would mean is if she built, which is funny because I always build Hurricanes on Caitlyn anyways. I know it's supposed to be rapid fire cannon or whatever. I don't really care. I'm going to be honest with you. As a Jinx player, my go-to for most AD carries is still Hurricane. I just play other AD carries like I would play them as Jinx, and we just work with it. But I believe that's a change that they were trying to put either on this patch or next patch. So it will be interesting to see that come back because it will also, the extra bolts will count as scaling for headshot, which is the passive, which by the way is going from 1.2 to 1.3. With 27 base damage at 100% crit chance, and Ace in the Hole, the ultimate, 2.5 additional damage per 10%, going up to 3.5 additional damage per 10% crit chance. So she's going to hurt a lot. Caitlyn has been missing, or hasn't been hitting the mark in terms of her current power levels, which is interesting if you look at pro play. Since we're here to put some more gunpowder, Hextech into her rifle, and give her shots some more kick, we're primarily focused on making Caitlyn scale better with her crit-based builds this patch, particularly in her passive and ultimate crit scaling. While she won't be able to gain lane advantages with these changes, she'll be able to keep up with her competition when it comes to scaling with items. And that's important because when we talk about other AD carries in a Jinx video, it's mainly just to say, hey, how does Jinx and them line up in the laning phase? Out of laning phase, things can go who knows what, because of team composition, but in laning phase basically nothing changes in the matchup at the moment because these are not lane buffs. It's not to make Caitlyn a lane bully, it's to say, hey, Caitlyn kind of, despite being a late game scaling AD carry, doesn't really late game scale all that well like her counterparts like a Tristana, Jinx, etc. So she's going to be a better hyper carry as the game goes on, which, while I usually wouldn't talk about it, out of laning phase, Caitlyn-Jinx matchup is interesting because Caitlyn is the better sieger in terms of setting it up because she can line down the traps to wall off an area. Jinx, meanwhile, because she can switch to the minigun with the more ramping attack speed and stuff like that too, I would say is still the better tower destroyer. But Caitlyn's going to have a lot of extra ability to poke people down with the extra scaling damage when she builds crit now. And her range, of course, and then the ultimate, like a lot of okay, I'm just gonna put this in here. It's a little bit of a rant. It's a small one. I don't like it when Caitlyn's like use the ultimate as an opening move. That is not an opening move. But if the crit scaling is finally ever good on it, maybe it can be a good chunking move finally. But we've all seen Caitlyn's they'll ult immediately when someone's at full health and do like no damage, or maybe they even do like a third damage. But it's like that's for when they're out of range. That's for when they're getting away. You want to save that for when they're low health and they're out of range of your auto attacks and other things so you can still snipe them. That's not an opening move. And Kai'Sa, meanwhile, base health decreased, Q damage decreased, and W cooldown increased because Kai'Sa is really disgusting in pro play to the point it's not even about the Jinx Kai'Sa matchup, it's about the everybody Kai'Sa matchup. And maybe Kai'Sa's finally getting some bonkening that puts any matchup really more in a 50-50 plane. And that's unfortunately all the insight I can really give because some of these, I mean, there's a lot of things changing and the maths add up, but it's one of those, we still got to kind of see how it plays out because they kind of feel like light touches because KDA might be coming back in 2 months and Kai'Sa can't afford to be too weak. I'm going to be that guy, unless Jinx is about to join KDA because Jinx, I mean, she's not getting buffs, but Jinx also isn't getting nerfs, and Jinx hasn't gotten a skin yet this year. KDA Jinx. There you go. I'm going to get your hopes up for nothing. It's not really that heavy of a patch, I gotta admit. There's not a lot to go off. I mean, you got the Soul Fighter skins, so Prestige, Soul Fighter Shaco, Soul Fighter Evelynn, Soul Fighter Gwen, Soul Fighter Jhin. So you'll probably see Jins in your games, at least for the first couple days, or if you happen to fight I Keep It Taco. So that's a matchup you might want to worry about a little bit, because one of the things about Jhin, if you're new to the game, by the way, He'll try, if the Jin has any kind of experience, he's going to set up the minion wave to be low, and then when you get near it, throw the grenade towards the furthest minions so that that fourth bouncing grenade hits you. If it kills minions per bounce, like if it's the last thing that hits those minions, it's going to crit every time. So that fourth bounce coming towards you is going to also crit. So whenever you see him, especially if he doesn't have the fourth shot, so he needs to use the bouncing grenade while he's reloading anyways, that's what he's probably going to be looking to do. So just avoid the minion being close to your minions in that, especially when he's reloading, because he might try to do that if your minion wave is low. If your minion wave has health and the grenade won't kill it while it's bouncing, it won't crit. Just some news there. But you might see some Jins, because a new Jin skin. The regular Soul Fighter Shoal Fighter Viego. I can't speak. I'm tired. Let's end the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because I can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.